Welcome back everyone, I'm Val and today's video is going to be a little bit different from the ones I usually post. I'm gonna talk about why I decided to live in Thailand as a Latina. So let's get to it. So the context of this video is basically that I've been in Thailand for around 8 months and I've gotten a few questions in Instagram asking me if I have stopped traveling, if I am living in Thailand, how am I doing it. So I'm going to answer all of those questions and tell you that yes, I stopped traveling for a period of time and I decided to live in Thailand. So here is why. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself for those who are new to the channel or don't know my story. I'm basically from Colombia. In 2021, I decided to pack my entire life in one carry-on and start traveling the world. I was basically traveling around Europe and then I came to Asia and now I'm living in Thailand. I basically work also as a digital nomad. I have a virtual job apart from, of course, my social media channel, and I mostly middle travel, which means that I usually travel on a budget, but when I want to try a very nice and good experience, I don't cut out expensive. So let's start with why I stopped traveling. Like honestly, I didn't actually stop traveling in itself, but I had to take a break from traveling. And the reason behind that is because it gets tiresome at some point. As surprisingly as it might be for some of you, traveler's life is not as perfect as some may make it look in social media.
What do you mean?
Actually, what you see in social media is just a small percentage of what this whole life carries around. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change my lifestyle for absolutely anything, but just like any lifestyle, it can get really tiresome. First off, because you always have to start again. So you start to get used to a place. I usually stay at least 1 month in each country I visit. So you actually start to get a routine, to know people around, to get comfortable in a place. And as soon as that happens, you have to leave and restart all over again. So you don't get to actually make deep connections with people, and also you don't get to choose a routine for yourself. All the time your life is changing, which can actually take a toll on your brain. The second thing is not having a place that feels like home, because in these years traveling, I've decided not to go back to Colombia even once, and I don't feel like my home country is my home anymore. When you get like homesick or the desire of getting back to a place that you call home, you don't actually have that. And to be honest, moving around is really tiresome. Like moving days are just awful. You spend the entire day traveling, taking trains, buses, airplanes, whatever it is. So all the time you're doing that. And it was starting to take a toll on myself, so I just needed a place to stay. So that's basically the context of why I stopped traveling for a period of time. Now, from all the countries in the world, why Thailand? And my answer is, why not? I mean, of course, I chose Thailand as the place to stay and settle down for all the reasons that you already know. The food, the people, the weather, the beautiful beaches and the ocean, of course. But to be honest, there are also many countries that can offer the same. So all of those reasons still apply to me. I am living in Thailand for everything you think that are the common reasons why people choose Thailand as a place to live in.
Classic.
But there is an extra component that made me choose Thailand as the place to settle down, and that also has to do with the fact that I'm from South America. So again, a little bit of context.
Yes, again.
Actually, I didn't choose Thailand randomly after visiting here for the first time. I've known about this country for around 6 years already, and for that period of time, I've been wanting to visit. Last year, I finally came to Thailand and it was everything I expected it to be and much more. So it exceeded my expectations. But it's different to see Thailand from a traveler or tourist perspective rather than a person that actually lives in the country. So it's not the same. But when I was checking of the way people live here and life quality and all of that, it actually convinced me that this was the place I wanted to call home. First thing, let's talk about the people. One of the reasons I decided to stay in Thailand as a Latina is people, basically. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but we South Americans are in general very warm. We are people that smile around, that make a joke with you even though you're a stranger. We are people people, prone to help. We like to party and to laugh. Actually, Colombia was ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world some years ago. And honestly, when I was traveling across Europe, I kind of missed that. It's not that European people are not kind. They are, very much so. But that South American warmth is something that I haven't found in any other country. When I came to Thailand, I was very surprised to see that Thai people are actually like that as well. They call this country the land of smiles, and there is a reason behind that. Thai people are also actually very warm, prone to help. They ask you things, they smile to you, they are very kind. And they also like to have a lot of fun when they are partying. So when I first came here, I felt like coming back to Colombia without being in my own country. I was very surprised to see that the people were so similar culturally speaking. Also, I feel like Thailand is very well developed, so cities like Bangkok are very modern. So you can find absolutely everything in Bangkok and ways of moving around Asia from Thailand very easily. Because the issue with other Southeast Asian countries is that moving around is easier when you actually drive a car rather than by public transport. So I needed a country that was better communicated, not only internally, but also around Asia. And also reason number 3 is price. I know you're gonna say, oh yeah, of course, Thailand is a cheap country. And let me tell you, not really.
What do you mean?
Thailand can be as cheap or as expensive as you make it. So in here, you can find street food for $2, but also you can find luxury restaurants that will serve you a plate for $20 up. And usually people that claim this, if you're watching me, maybe you are from either Europe, the US, or Australia. What difference does that make? The currency. When you spend money in euros, US dollars, or Australian dollars, of course it's gonna be more expensive than spending in Thai baht, since Thai baht is not as strong as those coins. So when you come to Thailand with your strong currency, you find that everything is cheap. But I'm South American. We spend in Colombian pesos, which is not a strong coin either. So when I came to Thailand, I found out that many of the prices here are very similar to my own country, which was actually a good thing for me, because I realized that for the same price that I was paying rent back in my country, I could have a better life quality here in Thailand. Definitely my condo here in Thailand looks better than an apartment back in Colombia for the same price. And groceries are cheaper. So seeing the similarity of prices between my own country and Thailand, but the fact that I feel that in Thailand I can have a better life quality than in my own country was really convincing. And the third reason is the security. Don't get alarmed and now say, yeah, of course, Colombia is a super dangerous country. Chill, it's not like that. But truth be told, I felt safer here in Bangkok than in my own country. I'm not going to say that Thailand doesn't have things like, for example, pickpocketers and things like that.
He's a pickpocket.
But those are things that are everywhere. I mean, I haven't seen a country from the 20 plus that I've been to that doesn't have them. But in my own country, I've gotten robbed with a weapon before. Not that that is going to happen to you. Don't get alarmed. If you were planning on going to Colombia, do so. My country is beautiful. But it has happened to me before. And here in Thailand, I feel like I can walk alone as a woman at night without anything happening to me. Of course, Thai people are going to tell me, hey, there are some places that you cannot do that. But in general, I feel safer here than I feel in my own city. And that for me is priceless. So those are basically the reasons why made me decide on Thailand for a place to live as a South American, because I also have the experience of living in a developing country, because that's what Colombia is. But when I compare the way I live here in Thailand with the way I would live if I was still living in Colombia, I feel like I am so much better here. So you let me know in the comments if you live in Thailand and what are the reasons that make you live in Thailand as a foreigner. Now, how am I living in Thailand with a Colombian passport? What did I do? Actually, like I told you, I've been wanting to come to Thailand for around 6 years, which means I've also wanted to learn Thai for that certain amount of time. So searching on the internet, I found out that I could actually stay in Thailand for an entire year with a student visa while studying Thai. As soon as I found out that, I was like, okay, 2 birds, 1 stone. I can stay in Thailand for a year and I can finally learn Thai. Don't tell me, why would you want to learn such a difficult language? I like my life complicated. Don't think about it. What I did was search for a Thai language academy here in Bangkok because it was the city I wanted to live in, but it's not the only city that has this program. I entered Thailand with a tourist visa, and 45 days before my tourist visa expired, I started all the process of getting the student visa with the school. So basically you need to go and ask the school how much is the program with them, and usually with classes they include the whole visa process. So they are going to tell you how the classes work, how many times a week you have to study, and what documents do you need for the visa process. So what you have to do is basically gather all those documents that usually include your passport picture, your tourist visa if your country requires a tourist visa. They might also ask for your lease contract or income proof. Once you gather all those documents, you just take them to the academy and they will do the request for you. Disclaimer, you can actually do this process outside of Thailand on your own instead of having the school do it for you, and that will be a little bit cheaper. But to be honest, I think the option of having the school dealing with all the paperwork and everything that needs to be done when you request, it's easier. So that's basically what I did. It took around 20 days to get the approval letter from immigration, and then I had to go over there, pay for the visa, get an appointment so my tourist visa could be changed for the ED visa. And just like any long-term visas in Thailand, it needs to get renewed every 90 days, as well as you need to get your address notification every 90 days. Disclaimer, if you're watching me from Colombia, starting on July of this year, we no longer need tourist visa to enter Thailand, so the process might be a little easier. But that's basically what I did. If you're wondering what am I gonna do when the year is over, I'm just gonna resume my traveling. So this country is still my home and I can come back whenever I want to, but I'm a traveler by heart. And actually, Thailand now has a new type of visa that you can have for around 5 years. It's not a visa that you can have for 5 years, but it's a visa that expires in 5 years and allows you to be 180 days per entry inside Thailand. So not 5 years, but 6 months, but the visa is valid for 5 years, which is pretty good for some digital nomads that live in Thailand on and off. So that's it. For all of you who were wondering, what am I doing in Thailand for this long? Am I going to go back to traveling? The answer is yes. So let me know in the comments if you would like to live in Thailand or if you have any other questions. And that should be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like it and to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. I will see you all on the next trip.